It's basketball championships. A reminder that Oklahoma's locker room will close at 9:38. We are joined on the dais by Oklahoma head coach Jenny Baranczyk, senior Aubrey Jones, and senior Skylar Van. Coach, if you'll make an opening statement, then we'll take questions for the student athletes.
Obviously, this is a really tough one. Indiana's a great basketball team. This was a great environment for the NCAA tournament. This is just a little tough for us to swallow at this time.
If you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise your hand function, and we will get to your question during the press conference. If you're in the room, please raise your hand, and we'll get you a mic. Front row on your left.
Zion Brown, Indianapolis Star. Skylar, I'll start with you. Just this environment was ruckus, and especially in that fourth quarter as Indiana began to come back there. Just what made it so tough to play in a place like this?
I mean, yeah, the crowd was crazy. I mean, going into this, we knew that the crowd was going to be really intense. And, I mean, I feel like me and my team, I think we did a really good job just, like, playing through it. And I think we just had some shortcomings. But, I mean, we gutted it out. And I don't think anybody can disagree with that. And I'm proud of this group, so.
We'll stay second row on your left.
Jack Ankeny, SI Indiana. For either of you, it was a 1-point lead either way for a lot of that fourth quarter. And I guess just in the final minutes, what do you feel like kind of decided the game?
I think that they were able to hit shots down the stretch, and we weren't able to get stops, but I think that we worked really hard and did our best.
Skylar, anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with Aubrey. I think, yeah, they just hit big shots. And I think we had great shot opportunities. They just didn't go in at the end of the game. So you can't be mad about that. There's nothing you can do about it.
We'll go second row in the middle.
Nick Jenkinson, South Central Indiana News Network. Aubrey, for you had 16 points. You had 3 threes tonight. You brought the energy off the bench. Just talk about what you were able to contribute in this game.
I think we prepared really well for this game, and I know that my teammates and my coaches have given me a lot of confidence, so just knowing that I'm capable of that stuff, and I was able to do it tonight.
If you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise your hand function, and we'll get to you. We will go to Zoom for a question from Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Skylar and Aubrey, both of you. Just wondering, what can you take away from this experience of this weekend and especially tonight's game as you move into the off season for you, Aubrey? Obviously, the sort of confidence building performance for you, but just given everything that this team has gone through and everything that will come back, what do you take away from this moving forward?
Aubrey, why don't you take that first?
Yeah, we're going to let it hurt first because it does, and then we're going to get back in the gym and stay connected and keep working for next season.
Skylar, anything to add?
No, she said it all.
Is there anything else in the room for the student athletes? Is there anything else on Zoom for the student athletes? If not, ladies, thank you and congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll now take questions for Coach in the room and on Zoom. Use the raise your hand function on Zoom, and if you raise your hand in the room, we'll get you a mic.
Coach, you talked about having to play against the crowd. I've asked this every year when a team's come here to play. Do you prefer having the neutral site like the men, or do you like having the ability for the top 4 seeds to host as something you can strive for in the future?
I'd love to have hosted, to be honest. And we had some circumstances, too, in that. No, I think you want to play in front of people. I think we need to continue to grow our game. I mean, it is hard because there is such a home court advantage, especially here. But I think it's important that we continue to grow our game. Now, I do think that more people are showing up to games, so those neutral sites, it'll be interesting to continue to see what Albany does, what Portland does. So really supportive of the way that the tournament's heading.
We'll go front row on your left, Coach.
Zion Brown, Indianapolis Star. You just mentioned it, especially here as far as the environment and the atmosphere. What makes Assembly Hall different?
Well, there's people in it, so there's a lot of people. I think obviously they have a very good team, and yeah, I mean obviously we didn't shoot well, so that could be part of it. And I think you credit a team for that. You also sometimes credit the road for that. So that's something that no, I mean I think people were engaged, and I think it was a crowd that, you know, the band's engaged. I think the doors open an hour and a half before. That's something that's unique to places. I think it's loud. I never felt like it was something that, I think Indiana beat us. It wasn't necessarily just the crowd that beat us, but I do think that the crowd, you know, you want to play in front of people. And I think Indiana is also a state that's obviously educated in basketball, so they see good basketball, so it's important for them to show up and to be able to see their great team that's here. And I think that makes it different. So I'm really impressed with the crowd.
We'll go second row in the middle.
Todd Golden with CNHI. Jenny, your team did so many things to take Indiana out of their game. They weren't able to run.
Yeah, we just fouled a lot.
Yeah, the 3-point game was not what it typically is. When you do things right and you still don't come up with the outcome that you want, I mean, how much does that hurt a little bit more?
Well, it hurts because it's March, right? At this point, that's because it hurts, and it hurts because, you know, obviously you want to go, and there's a lot on the line in terms of getting to a Sweet 16, but it also hurts worse when you sit in the locker room with your team after, you know, and you realize that's it. I mean, this is a team that we've gone through a lot. We've had a lot of, you know, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but I'm proud of a lot of the things that we've done. You know, we play really hard. It's hard when we don't put the ball in the hole, or we put them on the free throw line, or we get down to 2 seconds and then we're fouling. You know, I mean, there were a lot of those instances as well. And so we just needed to do a better job, especially in that fourth quarter, of really just holding our ground. And you can credit Indiana for that. And also we got to get better. So that's I think, that's the hardest part is as a coach, you just want to dive in and get better, and you have a long time to wait before you get to really dive back into another game.
We'll go third row on the right.
Britton Ross, OU Nightly. There was a stretch in the season where your team lost 5 out of 6 games early on. What is it about this team to battle back, win the Big 12 championship, and advance to the second round?
Yeah, and I've been asked this question. Usually I get a number of how many days it's been since we had a specific loss. I think part of it is that we don't celebrate. We want our players to understand there's a process to things, right? And to stay in the process. But yet we only talk about wins and losses. And that's all that's ever thrown at them. And so I feel like this team did a really good job of being able to separate and just say, okay, let's just keep focusing on getting better.
Right.
Sorry.
Sorry, Coach.
Nope, you're good. Move on.
We will go to Zoom and Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Jenny, just sort of following up on that. I know you talked about it, Aubrey talked about it, just the hurt that y'all feel right now. But if you take yourself back from it, what will you remember most about this team and the way that they were able to fight through everything that y'all went through this year?
I do think that we genuinely and passionately and deeply really care and love for one another. And we're able to fall on our face. We're able to get back up. We're able to crawl forward. We're able to help each other, even in the not so good moments. And it just really hurts. And we've had a lot of these moments. But I think it's one of those things that if this team really I don't think the story's done. You know, we have a lot of people that are coming back. We graduate Kennedy and obviously Jordan, Moser. But if this can really fuel this team, this might be one of those situations where it's, you know, not never, but maybe it's more of a not yet. And so I don't know if the story's done. And I don't know if you get to have a story like we've had in one season. I think it's going to be more than one season.
And we'll take the last question here on the left, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, in terms of Mackenzie Holmes defending her, you guys kind of made inefficient. She was shooting the ball uncharacteristically early going.
Inefficient for you.
For her.
For you and her standards, yes.
No, but she was. She
good.
didn't. You know, she missed a lot of shots early, and then in the fourth quarter, kind of took over. What was your trying to approach to defending her, and what do you think happened in the fourth quarter where she was able to kind of get in a role there?
I think in the fourth quarter, I think she got really deep position on us, and so it was just a little bit easier. So that was, I think, what we did a better job of in the first half was try to keep her guessing as much as possible in terms of what we were trying to do. But you know, she's really good.
Coach, thanks for your time. Congratulations on a great season.
You
It was a
guys,
pleasure
please
hosting your
continue
program.
to cover women's basketball. You guys do a great job here. Thank you.